Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dan around Yak's Ben, and we have a fantastic show for you. Oh, I'm regretting this because I can't see the screen. Hold on. Grandpa Deadpool right now. The Sounds of the Desert now on vinyl. ArenaNet working on their karma. PvP Season 9 queue changes, but will it make you QQ and much more? But first, let me introduce you to my fellow hosts. Yeah, I forgot to put the earbud in first. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion. I forgot what the joke I wrote. I bet he is regretting the delivery man wouldn't have made it with the other costume now. But hey, that's life. Say hello to Jim.
Oh, man.
Hi, everybody.
And he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question. My glasses are fogging up. What happens if he gets 10 followers on his Twitch channel?
Oh, damn
Say
it,
hello
Dale.
to Age.
I will do the Halloween jumping puzzle in first-person mode for 30 minutes.
Ooh!
If I get 10 more followers, so 565.
Yay!
Oh, no, wait. Not 565, 865. There you go.
Awesome. And she writes over at mmorpg.com and on her website, mmorly.com. It has been a while since she has been on the show. I wonder if her roar has gotten rusty. Say hello to Robin.
All I can think while you're holding the glasses up is like Professor Deadpool, which is just hysterical to think of.
Well, I am part of the X-Men. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But, I don't think I can do the whole thing like this. Luckily,
I'm going to take this jacket off.
Luckily, I came with a backup.
Oh, God.
Oh
Oh, my God.
Still gonna have to use the glasses, though, so.
Gets better and better.
It's a Ryan Reynolds kind of a time.
Apparently this episode is a stripping show, too. Age is going to strip for us.
Yeah, we have to put the mature content filter on. Oh, all that for like, what, a minute's worth? Well, probably lasts a lot longer because
It was awesome.
I couldn't read.
It was worth it.
It was awesome.
All right. Well, let us...
Show.
Let us jump right into it. So, the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire soundtrack is now available.
Yay!
Yep, and it's pretty much like the last time with Heart of Thorns. You can buy it digitally, but luckily, and I know a lot of people were hoping on it, they actually gave us a vinyl this again, like Heart of Thorns. And there's an image of it. It's over at I am 8-bit, just like last time. The nice thing is, with that, if you do buy it, because it looks so beautiful, you probably don't want to ruin it. So it does give you a digital version if you still want to listen to the music. But it features 40 tracks composed by McLean, Deemer, Wilbur. I'm probably gonna butcher these names. Wilbur Roget the second, Brendan Williams, and Stan Lee Pard. And so
You said Stan Lee and paused, and I was like, wait a minute.
yes, and Stanley. No, probably for legal reasons, not Stanley.
Do you know if you get the digital download for the thing as soon as you buy it?
Probably.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that's how it worked with the other one.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Within 48 hours, you get the link to the digital download.
It's
Heck,
awesome.
I bought my copy at PAX East this year, and I just sent a message to support. I'm like, I didn't get a receipt, I didn't get a code or anything, and they're just like, okay, here.
Nice.
And I think it's a 40 US denomination, so USD. So
Cool.
If you want it for wall art, it's totally worth that and the soundtrack. So
Yep.
oh,
It's
so
also
pretty.
on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon and iTunes digitally.
Yeah, I agree with chat. It's beautiful. I honestly, when they put out that tweet, I probably watched that GIF for so long because I was like, oh, it's so shiny. Like,
You know, like I like the soundtrack. I like the original game soundtrack, and I like the soundtrack for Heart of Thorns. But I really like the Path of Fire music. There's just something about it that I can't put my finger on it, but I really, really like it. Every time it plays in game, I'm like, yay.
My only problem is like with the Heart of Thorns one, I feel like I have to listen to Terrir on repeat because there's just something about that soundtrack. It makes me feel like it's Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Terrir especially, but a lot of the tracks in Heart of Thorns reminded me of Final Fantasy and that kind of like whole thing. So it's interesting.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now it's up for the vinyls are up for pre-purchase right now. So so you're not going to get them ASAP, but you know, I think.
But you'll get the digital thing. In the meantime.
Yeah.
It's a good Christmas gift, guys.
A lot of companies are doing that these days, and it's amazing. Like, it's the best thing that they've ever done. Like, I didn't even know the first thing I got where they did that. I didn't know it was a thing, and I was like, oh my god, amazing.
Yeah, and chat's saying they listen to the soundtrack itself and just sounds amazing. Yeah, it's like I said, even for some reason, even if you're not a fan of the ambient music, but you know, I think they've consistently knocked it out of the park with Hot and with PoF, and like the art itself, just the look of the album, it's just so unique. I think it's just well worth it for that itself. But any other thoughts on the Path of Fire soundtrack or the vinyl itself?
Go buy it; it's worth it.
Buy it.
I concur.
I like, you know, I like how they're doing the record, how it just goes around and around. You know, kind of like the saying, what goes around comes around. Karma, good deeds. Speaking of good deeds, I never turned off pre-show and all that stuff. There we go. Speaking of good deeds, ArenaNet is actually doing Extra Life 2017 this year. Woo! So, yep, they are doing it as a company. So they're doing Extra Life for people who don't know, Extra Life is a 24-hour yearly gaming and fundraising marathon in support of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The details of it are for 36 hours of Guild Wars 2 by ArenaNet devs and members of the partner program. ArenaNet themselves are going to be starting their stream on, of course, twitch.tv/Guild Wars 2 on Friday, November 3rd at noon Pacific, and will end at November 4th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So, and definitely hop in there.
You didn't hit record.
Yeah, I did. Lots of cool prizes. It made me check for a second. Lots of cool prizes, including Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars merchandise and all that stuff. So definitely, you know, just have it open, check it out. Donate if you can, or just get the word out. I think we've said that about pretty much all the charity things.
I think you could join their team too. I'm not sure, because it's like links up there. So I'm like,
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have time to do it, but I'd like to.
Yeah, I would have done something, but I'm going to be on the other side of the country. So.
Ooh. Think of the children. But yeah, that's, you know, definitely a good thing. Like we said, if you can't donate, if you know, have social media retweeting their stuff, like getting the word out to other people, that's just as important. So
Yep.
But like we said, it's going to be ArenaNet and their partners in their partner program. And another thing the partners are getting, man, we're blowing through this. It might be a 20-minute podcast.
The first in Talking Skritt history.
I know. So partners will now be able to spectate automated tournaments.
Ooh.
Yeah, on the forums they talked about it. So partners can now spectate and stream automated tournaments. They need to have it set to a 2-minute delay, and they need to ask permission for the players to stream the match. And they did say partners abusing this feature will be punished.
Dun, dun, dun.
So since for those who don't know, I do the notes for a show. So for this particular piece of news, this wasn't actual official Guild Wars 2 news. This was something that actually was found out like a couple days ago. So on the 25th, partners were able to have this ability, and just people were randomly spectating people's games, and it's like, hey, we can spectate. Can we watch your match? I know Jebro was able to. He tweeted out he was going to be casting some automated tournaments. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So ArenaNet gave him that ability, but apparently it's for all partners. So one of the kind of things that irritated me about this is because ArenaNet had no official statement on the forums, Reddit or otherwise, about this, because it's kind of important to tell us about this.
Communication.
I don't understand why. The other thing I have a kind of a problem with is because the only partners that are probably going to use this is the PvP ones, and I don't trust them. More like I don't. There's only two people I 100% trust. The others I just don't know their personalities that well to make a decision, or I just think others will use this for themselves.
Yeah.
And I've read some things on the forums about it. We'll link it in the video VOD so you guys can check out the forum for yourself. But I have a few concerns and issues, and there are definitely things ArenaNet can do to make spectating automated tournaments a lot better. But on the bright side, this does also promote automated tournaments in a way. So I know like people like Jebro would love to cast automated tournaments and things, and get some publicity for Guild Wars 2 PvP. So
I'll say I think Jebro actually just did, or it just did his first automated tournament. I remember him tweeting about it last night. I think it might have already happened, but
no, I think there was one a couple of days ago where he tweeted too.
And chat's also saying it seems like people without naming names are also, I guess, using it as a device to insult people, like kind of be rude about people.
I can see that.
ArenaNet actually came out and said that they, can't do that. So at least ArenaNet's stepping in, saying, don't be a dick.
Well, the problem I have with anybody doing that in the first place is, especially if you're a partner, I mean, okay, so the other stuff I have, like even as casters, I've seen like League of Legends, and there are points in time where League of Legends casters, the official ones, will be questioning of what someone just did in a game. There are professional ways to go about saying, that's a bold move, Cotton. So there are professional ways to say, I think you done goofed, than just being vulgar about it and saying someone's dumb. I don't know what was said, obviously, but I'm going to assume that it was something along those lines. But I mean, it's the same thing as like you can have critiques of what people are doing and like opinions about it and stuff without like insulting the person. Like there's a difference between, what you're doing here is not the greatest idea, I don't think, as opposed to like, you're an idiot. Like, and I'm looking through this, and this is like the third post in the thread. The observers can talk in map chat, which could confuse people. I don't think there's any way in game for someone to get permission. Like, there's no checkbox to say yes, someone can stream this. Or
and I think that's why it's at least currently being kept to partners, because
even then, I mean, they shouldn't be able to talk in map chat. I mean, you're just supposed to be observing. And then the third point in this post is that, or not the third point, it's part of the second point, is that person was in the tournament and able to observe other teams in that bracket. So
I don't like that either. It's
potentially problematic.
Yeah, I see why they allowed partners to actually do it, but at the same time, it does present issues.
Off the top of my head, my whole thought would be that there would, if you were observing a match, there is an channel, and that is literally all you can type in. That would be my thought to it.
Well, for MapChap, I would say it's just to, like, you know, hey, I'm spectating, can I get permission to watch, and things like that. And then otherwise you'd be quiet for the rest of the match and you just watch. But
well, I'm talking about actually getting to a point where this is available to, because I'm assuming the reason they're even working on this in the first place is to make automated tournaments more visible, and thus to just let everybody watch them. So why would you even build this in the first place if you were only going to let partners use it? That's my thought. There is, you create an observer channel that anybody can observe it now. Then boom, there you go, you can observe it. And then they add like a pre thing where people are like, are you okay with your automated tournament matches being streamed? And there's a checkbox for when you sign your team up. And then anytime a team that is not okay with their match, nobody can observe that match.
Yeah, that is a comment too, because, like, I know some people really would not want to be streamed, like, regardless of whether they're doing it themselves or having somebody else streaming them. Like,
right,
that is a thing for people, and it's worth taking that into account.
And QED is bringing up some points about the same spectator system as Guild Wars 1. I'm not familiar with the spectator system from Guild Wars 1, but I'm assuming it's because they're rebuilding this from the ground up in a different engine. That they're maybe trying to do some different things, which...
Vastly different engine. Yeah.
Gameplay backs would be really cool. A lot of games, I feel like, should implement that in the future.
I would love to have a recording to watch back my own games.
It's really,
I screwed up. That would be
really cool. But, you know, like, for now, you have to just record your matches, which, you know, sometimes you will do, sometimes you won't. So, but it'd be really nice to have that type of feature. I think most games in the future, if you're a PvP related game, you should have that. Or try to anyway.
Yeah. And it's a great way to learn too, because when you're in the moment, you don't always see everything. And then when you watch the video, you're like, oh, that's why that happened. I didn't see this there. Or if I had noticed that there, I could have done this and been more effective, you know?
I completely, like, I think that's where I'm at right now with playing PvP, is I can survive but it's playing the map that I have a problem with right now. Yeah. So that's a little more difficult to do when you are in the moment, because you're just trying to make sure that you're not dead, that you're moving through and, you know, doing everything else. But
sure.
So yeah, a playback thing would be great.
Yeah, I hope this is, you know, it definitely doesn't sound like this is it for it. Hopefully this is just one iteration of it. Because, like you guys are saying, the big issue is, you know, these partners could theoretically look at other people in a tournament they're in, which that should be a big no-no. But I do like the idea. I mean, I'd almost like to see eventually something like where a new person who might want to get into, you know, shoutcasting might, but like I said, that's probably down the road. And probably go with what Jim was saying, the whole like check box, or heck, do what they did with like the ready up system. Hey, if you check this box, you get a little bit more you know, PvP points.
I was talking about that with Chev on 0 to Hero this week, and he didn't realize that you got bonus rank points for readying up.
It's
only 10 points, but they had to give people points to make them ready for a match. So
still a lot of people don't ready up in total though.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But any other thoughts on the automated tournaments?
Keep an eye on it, please, PvP team. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, close eye on it.
Well,
otherwise,
you know,
I'll send Arlie after you. She'll bring the bandwagon down. Yeah.
Well, let's stay on the topic of PvP because they have given us a little bit of information for PvP Season 9. So they're going to start with some queuing changes. So Season 9, they notice, with previous seasons, legendary players will no longer be allowed to duo queue in Season 9. Their reasoning for this, because we have so few legendary players, it's very difficult to get legendary players into an appropriate match. When legendary players duo queue, it greatly compounds this difficulty. Their goal is to improve matchmaking at higher skill levels. So, what do you guys think of that?
There's something they're not saying there too. Because remember when we talked about that guy who basically had like 5 out of the top 10 slots and he was selling them for multiple accounts? Yeah, that's what they're stopping with this. Although I've seen talk that it should go all the way into plat.
Yeah.
Really?
It depends on since they don't release metrics, I don't know how many people are in ranked at all. But I was in like mid gold 2 for my matches, and my queue time still 2 minutes at most. And that was solo queue. Duo queue, it was still 2 minutes maybe. So it's not super terrible all the way up through gold, but I've been hearing that plat is also an issue where match manipulation is a thing where this would solve it. But to be fair, there are other points about issues with queue times is also pretty pertinent, because I remember talking to my wife used to watch League streamers, Medios. He's for Cloud9. He would play Hearthstone matches while he was waiting for his queue to pop. And when you can play games of Hearthstone while waiting for your queue to pop, you don't want to play another game while waiting to play a game.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Well, they did bring up basically why they didn't restrict duo queue altogether. They didn't want to remove this option for everyone when the problem they are trying to solve exists within a tiny fraction of the player base, which I think goes back to kind of what you were saying about getting people the controlling of the legendary tier. That was, I think we talked about probably a couple weeks ago. But good.
Well, I don't know. It's an interesting decision. I understand from both aspects. Kind of sucks because, like, if you're friends with a legendary player and you want to duo together, you can't. So that's the only thing that really sucks.
Yeah. Well, I think like you said before with like when we talked about in the past about, what if I want to play with my friends that, it's more than 2 people. Well, if you want to play with your friend, but he's legendary, you got to do it on unranked. I mean, maybe they're just trying to legitimize ranked itself, which...
Or I'll play an automated tournament too, I guess.
Yeah. So for better or for worse, but I think, it might be for the betterment of the, seasons, but maybe not for certain individual players that maybe just want to play with their friend from time to time at a challenge. Because unranked can, as I've seen, because I haven't been in there, can be kind of,
It's a shit show.
Yeah. But other than that, any other thoughts on the PvP Season 9 queue? Are there any things that you guys think need to be changed since they haven't... I hope this isn't all of what is coming with Season 9 as changes.
Well, I can almost guarantee there's going to be a large-scale balance patch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
with Season
obviously.
But I want to see them guarantee that they're never going to drop elite specs in the ranked season ever again.
Drop? What do you mean?
They released Path of Fire in the middle of a ranked season.
Oh yeah.
I would very much like to see them restrict. I want to see elite specs if they're brand new, not in ranked until a ranked season, and a balance patch has had a chance to happen.
There needs to be better, like either time coalition or like some way that they block it off. until they have a chance to balance all of that stuff, at least some.
It needs to be a time thing, because if they do not let PvP players play the new elite specs in PvP, they will be mad.
Yeah.
Well, you can play in unranked.
They don't want to play unranked.
I'm aware of that, but that's well, okay. The week Path of Fire dropped, there was 2 Necros on every team, every single game, and the team that had fewer Necros lost.
Really?
Yes, well, because of the shade stacking bug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you'd go into a fight with any of the, if 2 of the Necros were there, you had all of the conditions. Just like all of it, it felt like, okay, so one time I got hit by an epidemic on Slothosaur while I was a slubling. It felt like that. And that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like your entire bar, get all the boons go away, all of the conditions show up, and then you're dead. And I didn't like it, and it wasn't fun. And I didn't want to jump on the Necro train, bug class and spec, because that's not really fun, is it? Well, I guess some people would think it was fun, but it definitely doesn't seem like the greatest idea. But that's just me.
Yeah, with actually, I know the secret to beating Scourges, and sadly, it's Deadeye with rifle, but it's not very
always
popular.
Deadeye.
It's not popular in PvP, so like it's basically if you use range on Scourge, you will kill it.
Yeah.
And you just pile a lot of range damage into it, and they'll die. That's how I've been killing Scourges in World vs. World and PvP. So, but unfortunately, I do want them to. Speaking of Scourges, I don't want them to just destroy Scourge, because Necro's had a bad history of just balancing PvP and PvE actually as of late when it comes to damage. It's just that it's like they're here and they're like good, or they're just not that good. There's like no middle ground type of thing where everyone's or majority of the community is happy with Necro. So
Necro is either the thing everybody loves or it's not.
My only issue is I don't want people to want to play something because it's bugged or broken. Like I want people to play something for its own merits.
Yeah, but there's always a group of people that whatever is like quote unquote the strongest, they'll want to play that. I get that. That's why there were so many dragon hunters when the trap's still dazed. Oh, those traps.
Yeah, I still hate Dragon Hunter. They're actually a good counter to Deadeye, in my opinion.
Because Spear.
Yeah, Spear, because even if you use Shadow Meld to like stealth up, they know where you are anyway. So
unblockable.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, and final thoughts on PvP Season 9 in general?
Looking forward to it. Maybe I'll actually finish the reward track this season. I have yet to do that.
Oh, those new amulets might be put in too, so that could be fun.
Well, let us take a look at WvW Re-linking. It's unfortunately the only thing we've really had news on for WvW. Hopefully that changes. Yeah. Hey,
they added sparks and stuff to Halloween, so that like on the walls they'll randomly like have vampire fangs and sparks. It's fantastic.
Yay!
And by that, okay, can I let me take this moment to actually say, for World vs. World, when you have a festival going on, can you like decorate the towers or something? Like, give a little flavor to World vs. World, kind of like what you did with PvP lobbies, except pre this PvP lobby, because just adding pumpkins is kind of meh.
Pumpkins.
So, like, just
did we talk about it on the show, or was that after show where we said like, you know how we have like the allies where you can capture the towers, or you can capture the areas and they'll do like little things to the area. I would love like a thing where like you turned in so many things and they actually TP a tower.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like like that could be for catapults. It'd be perfect. Like you TP, you're catapulting toilet paper to break the walls. That's perfectly fine. Like have NPCs be lunatic Inquisition or something. Like make it like put a little flavor into it. I feel like even though World vs. World would still be the same, it would, be like, oh, it's Halloween's all
Or the
awesome
trebuchet
things
shots
happening.
are flaming pumpkins.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I
And
mean,
then, people could have a peaceful WvW pumpkin chunkin contest.
I think it's not like World vs. World will overall benefit from it. It's kind of like a fun little thing that you do, but I think World vs. World could use that from time to time. So
I think it raised people's morale a little bit because it'd be fun and look at this, this is cool,
yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just as a morale booster of like, hey, we know this thing still is here. Don't worry. Like,
we haven't forgotten it exists.
Ghostly Doliax.
Ghostly Doliax.
And yeah, just reskin the map. Just make it, holiday themed.
Yeah.
Push the reskin things button.
Well, that's the system they have set up, right?
That would ideally be the system.
Just like, well, no, I think they were talking about the new Lion's Arch with the system they have is that literally all of the decorations are loaded in the game. There's literally just a Boolean flag that they check to say what holiday it is.
Yeah.
So do that for PvP and for the new lobby, and do that for World vs. World.
yeah, do just that. Retexture whole maps. I mean, I would like to see it for next year at least, but
yeah,
I
mean, it's not.
It's definitely
with the size of the WvW maps. It's not something that's easy to just.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's going to be
but
easy.
like, it's one of those things that doing it the first time is going to take a lot of time. But once you do that, like those maps don't change that much, so it should be
exactly.
easier.
Relinkings.
Oh yes, the relinkings. So yeah, so it looks like EU. You got Desolation going by themselves. The Far Shiver Peaks, Black Tide, Seafarer's Rest, Fissure of Woe all together. Gandar and Aurora Glade all together. The Pike and Square, Ganar's Hold all together. Vavi and Underworld all together. Ring of Fire, Whiteside Ridge, Ruins of Sirmia all as one group. Riverside as by themselves. Kodash by themselves. Alona Reach by themselves. Drakkar Lake and Miller's Sound together. Abaddon's Mouth and Dazagnar by them together. Jade Sea and Arborstone together. Vizina Square, Fort Rannoch, Augury Rock all together, and Baruch Bay by themselves. And then for NA side, you got Jade Quarry and Black Gate separate, but they're by themselves each. Fort Aspoon and Devona's Rest teamed up. Sea of Sorrows and Aljanthir have teamed up. Yaxben and Caning have teamed up. Tarnished Coast and Ferguson's Crossing have teamed up. Stormbluff Isle and Borealis Pass have teamed up. Maguma and Sorrow's Furnace are a team. Northern Shiver Peaks and Gate of Madness are a team. Crystal Desert and Darkhaven are a team. Dragon Brand, Emery Bay, and Anvil Rock are one team. And Henjin Denravi, Sanctum of Ra, and Eridan Terrace are one as well. So, how do those matchups seem?
Yaxbend is a tier 2 server now?
I don't even know anymore.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised because I know that a lot of Yaxbend's populace shows up when there's stuff going on. Like when there's a WW tournament, Yaxbend shows up and they show up hard. But as we were talking before, we're getting mildly excited on the show about holiday decorations for the WvW maps. There ain't shit going on with WvW right now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're surprised that we're down to tier 2 because I think last time we were in tier 3. Like I think we went. If we did, I think we went up. Like
you're in tier
we fell
2
pretty
right
hard.
now. You're in tier 2 right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I'm kind of. I'd love to play WvW, but at this point, if there's nothing really going on other than WvW for the sake of WvW.
Yeah.
Yep.
Underworld and Vavi, that EU combo is going to be really insane. That's all I'm gonna say about
I do want to bring up something. It kind of goes back to the decorations thing, but chat's saying they'd rather have resources spent on actually important stuff rather than decorations. Well, I mean, I don't think they're this, like, what do you mean by important stuff? Like,
well,
the people
fixing
designing
issues, I would imagine.
but that's
Like,
not going to be the guys making decorations.
The people putting the decorations would be the art team and all of that, not the people who are like balancing and innovating and doing things for World versus World.
yeah, but I guess I can see it from the other perspective too, where you would, if you see all these decorations, but there are still issues in World vs. World that are not being solved, you're kind of wondering where the resources
those are different devs.
I know. Well,
to
we see it from that perspective.
Like, I get it, because, I mean, anytime I trailer or something, they're like, why the hell are you spending time on this trailer when you should be fixing the shit in your game? And I'm like, yes, because the people who make trailers are the people who fix bugs.
Yep.
But
it's the same thing as like when people yell at posting on Twitter when there's like major bugs going on in the game, and she's like, "That you don't want me fixing that."
I was actually going to make a joke about that, but like, yeah, Ruby's got to stop tweeting and start, balancing the whole game. Like,
but Ruby's job is to tweet. She's a community manager.
Yeah,
that's one of her many. Yeah, that it's you gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool if Ruby was given the opportunity to do so and it worked out. That'd be really cool.
I could see her on Guild Chat going, it was a fluke. Don't put me in charge again on it. I didn't.
I was gonna say I don't think she wants that power.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. Just.
It's like those times where like you have someone that's like, oh, go do this, but then you really do it so horribly so they don't ever ask you again. Her luck, it would work, and they'd be like, that was great. She'd be like, no, please.
I was trying to break it. What are you doing?
But yes, on the serious note of like devs working on fixing things in World vs. World versus like devs working on decorations, it really depends if the devs do like choose one or the other, or there are two separate teams for that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know what resources are going to World vs. World right now. There might be something going on. They just haven't said anything yet.
It feels like there's none.
It feels like there's none.
I'm trying to remember the last time we had the like update thing. Didn't they, like when we voted on something? Didn't they, the one thing that won? They said that would take a while as like an FYI. Now, I don't know how long.
What the thing was.
I don't remember what the thing was, unfortunately. But I thought that one of the options were like, well, this will take substantially longer than other things. Like,
I kind of wish they had like a www.guildwars2.com to give us like status updates on what the hell they're doing. And then they could put also the server rankings on there as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that would actually be a decent way to organize it.
Yep.
Wait, someone was complaining that Halloween was lacking this year?
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of people complaining about that.
Are you idiots? I'm sorry.
Wow, that's a strong.
They added stuff to it. I think this year compared to last year, my dogs are even outraged. I don't think they took anything away from last year. They brought stuff back and a little bit.
I'll agree. There's no new events. Well, except for I can't say that. I can't say that. I know. They added the race in Labyrinth. They updated Labyrinth a little bit because it was broken last year. They had all these achievements and stuff, and I only seriously did World vs. World Halloween stuff this week, and maybe
apparently there's not as many decorations in LA.
I think I did see a tweet about that because they were showing like previous years or something, but I know a lot of people were like worried about the load times and okay. I thought I thought you meant sense. Actually the content. I was like, wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I do remember seeing that because they had pictures of like previous years and then
Maybe that's why they didn't decorate the PvP lobby or Rover's World either.
The
Because
PvP lobby is decorated.
No,
We got pumpkins.
no, it's not. No, it's
There are some spirits flying around too. There's stuff there. Yeah, that's pretty much my reaction. It's just like, yay. I totally understand the layering and the load times, because graphically heavy stuff can make it take a really long time to get in.
Yeah.
Lion's Arch itself, I mean, what's the joke is you load in, like, why do I log out in Lion's Arch? When you do the first load into a game on a character and you're just like, oh crap, I logged out in Lion's Arch. It's going to take me 5 minutes to get back in the game.
That was a bad plan.
yeah.
That's why I'm sad I can't log out in the guild hall, because even if literally
that annoys
everybody
me, really. Like, I feel like you should be able to do that.
Maybe it just has to keep some kind of data that's because that's where you'll. I don't know the way the system works. You know,
it's one of the they didn't want crap tons of guild hall instances clogging up server space, so that's why they have the wonky map mechanics for that. Whatever, but we are way off of WvW on this point, so I'm just gonna
stay on topic.
To be fair, this might be how World v World happens on the dev thing. Like, so World v World, yeah, you know, guild halls. What about
though? Guild halls though?
I'm sorry.
Seriously though, I need guild missions. I don't want to derail this, but I need guild missions. I need new ones.
Yeah.
I would like to see that as well. I mean, there's not much else to talk about World v World wise, unfortunately.
Okay. Were there any other topics we need to talk about this week?
Oh yeah, there's
a
still a couple.
Right.
Okay.
Speaking of design, I'm helping.
Just handed to you there, Deo.
Yeah. That was an interesting way to do that. You really designed that transition very well. Like people designing this new weapon contest.
Oh my god.
You used me.
So we've talked about this probably a couple weeks ago. They had the design a weapon contest, and all submissions are in, so you can't really submit anymore. But they did have a follow up on the forums. They did say, you know, there are so many good entries. They've received more than 900 of them. So excellent job to all the people that entered. They feel it's going to be.
They got 900 submissions like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
awesome. Crazy.
Yeah, I cannot wait. So right now they're narrowing it down to the 20 finalists that later will be put out for a vote from the player base, and then also themselves. And so just imagine they're taking more than 900 submissions and getting it down to 20. So holy crap! I mean,
yeah, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, good luck to everybody, but yeah, hopefully we should be seeing that. I thought it was like sometime in November was when the voting was supposed to happen, if I remember correctly. But maybe people were speculating about that.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot to go through, especially if you want to read the descriptions of each and if they have like huge lore backgrounds or things like that.
Yeah, it's there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack there.
That's what they call not my job.
Yeah, you don't get paid to do that. Speaking of paying people,
oh Jesus,
you should pay the gem store if you like this stuff coming out. Speaking of the gem store, we got new stuff, and always thank you to Doffy.net. Check out Doffy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. First up, we have the Riding Broom Glider for 500 gems. It does have 2 dice slots. This might be cutting off circulation. I don't know. It has a unique riding animations for each of the races. So humans, Savari, Norn, Asuran, and Char. Similar to, I think it's the same ones that you'll see when the Riding Broom toy, which I think is actually oh no, there's a bundle. My bad. This is just for the glider itself for 500 gems.
I can't say anything bad about this.
I just want.
Oh, go ahead.
I want some people to jump off the LA lighthouse and just cosplay as witches and just like laugh over everyone.
I saw on Twitter somebody because of the broomstick made a Kiki delivery service version of their character.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And with the green infusion or the one of the pumpkin, one of the Halloween potion effects, you could totally do the Wicked Witch of and the wizard hat.
Yep.
No.
It's too bad that we don't have any like ape-like playable races, because then you could get some of the wings, and then you could do the flying monkeys too.
I was just thinking it's too bad that they can't combine the water, the witch hat thing, and then when you throw it at somebody wearing that, they melt.
Oh,
We have Monkey King Tonic. Yep. That's close enough.
yeah. But I have seen some people have some issues with it, which I can understand where they're coming from. Is first off, I've seen some people bring up, because we've had the riding broom and now they came out with the riding broom glider, that should, like, those people that bought the toy,
it should be converted.
Or you go to a vendor and they'll be like, oh, you have the thing and you get it for free. And I think we've talked about this. Like what they did with the
wings. They had the black wings out and then they released as the glider that you could trade it in for that. Yeah,
and I remember we talked about this with, what was it, the carpet, because they had the carpet toy and then they had the carpet glider. And I know my stance, like, I'm still sticking with it, is, you know, because a lot of people will go have the go-to of, you know, like Robin brought up, they had the backpacks that switched into gliders, but these are different items. Like, this is a separate toy that, you know.
Yeah. And
now we have precedence. But
well, they have the precedence of the electromagnetic sender and the glider, because the broom is a travel toy. That's one of the things that switches off during combat and switches back on when you're gliding. So now you can do it's the exact same thing with the electromagnetic glider and the ascender. So now you have the toy broom, you turn that on, you glide off the cliff, you still are on the broom, you land, you're still on the broom. That's the precedent here. So that's not there's nothing different going on here. This is something that already had a precedent. They're not trying to be money grubbing here. It's just, this is how it's set up. They have it in a bundle for people who don't have it. So,
and I saw another thing people had an issue with, which I kind of like can see where they're coming from and kind of agree with it a little bit, is like, people like the idea of the riding broom glider. They wish there was an option to not have the cat on it, just because as we go through the other stuff, they're not planning on getting the other items. So they kind of just have a random cat that appears out of nowhere, even though when they jump off a cliff for some reason, if they have their riding broom on. So it's kind of, visually it's weird.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
That's a good complaint there.
Like, it almost feels like they're pushing the combo, or at least getting the mini with it in that case. That, you know, some people have made that remark, but I can understand from visually that point, because that's one reason why I'm never a big fan of like glider and backpack combos that have die channels. It's like, why for some reason when I jump off a cliff my backpack turns blue instead of the normal red, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is the riding broom glider. Are any of you going to pick it up, or have you already?
No. I just gave them a bunch of gems, so.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get it. I kind of have my glider set in stone, unless something really comes out and wows me. But also in the gem store, they brought out the mini Elonian Familiar for 400 gems, and this looks very similar to the cat that you see on the end of the broom, but this is the mini version, so, you know, it'll run around after you.
I was about to say, how is it an Alonian familiar? The swooshy bits that Cheetah has, and then I'm like, okay, no, it makes sense.
But yeah, you can pick that up for 400 gems. Are any of you picking it up?
No, I'm not. You guys know I'm not a mini person unless it's like
I was hopeful that Robin would be the one. She's like
I
the
know.
mini like.
I know. I was like, I knew you were counting on me, but I'm not getting that one either.
Once the dogs minis came out, it's like I'm getting those now.
Yeah.
All
I
my
still need to
gems.
do a corgi.
I could hear Krista saying the same thing, Arlie, because she wants a teleporting corgi now. She wants a corgi jackal skin.
Oh, that would be amazing.
But the problem I have is that the minis do nothing.
Yeah.
And they are the first thing to go when a large number of players congregate.
Yeah.
So not only do they do nothing, but they're the first thing to go when you're in, say, Lion's Arch.
Yeah. And my problem is also I always have to remember to put one out, and I forget. So I have like hundreds and hundreds of minis, but I almost never use them.
Yeah.
Honestly, Pinks, I'm surprised there isn't a Choya backpack already.
I think it's a matter of time.
The plushy Choya, with all the plushy Quaggan backpacks, I'm surprised there's no plushy Choya back.
Yeah.
But like Arlie said, probably just a matter of time.
Yep.
And the perk of that is you don't have to have it look like there's like straps or anything. It's a prickly choya. You can just stick it on someone's back.
You go, dook.
But yeah, so like the things we've just talked about, you can get them separately or have the riding broom glider combo, which is 1,000 gems, which will get you the riding broom toy, the mini Alonian familiar, and the riding broom glider, which you just saw for 1,000 gems. Which that if you combine those, that kind of like how much is the riding broom toy itself? Like that's like 400 gems or something.
I think if you buy them all individually, it's like 12 or 1,300 gems.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're saving it seems like 300 or so gems by getting them all if you don't have them all already. Which if you want them all, it's definitely a good deal. Right. But it sounds like I don't even have to ask this since you guys aren't picking up the riding broom glider or the familiar. Are you saving it for the bundle?
I already have the riding broom. I am happy with the riding broom.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. So, but do let us know if you're going to be picking up any of those, and I do like the die options on the glider. I mean,
yeah.
But unfortunately, you just don't need that glider. But also in the gem store is the metallurgic die kit for 125 for one kit, 5 for 500, and 25 for 2,500 gems. And once again,
don't buy these.
Yeah. Once again, this has a pool of unique dies in there, but with a bunch of common regular dies you can get in game, right? By regular means.
Are these different than the metal ones they had previously?
No, these are just returning ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have nearly all of them in already, so.
Yeah.
And the metallurgic die kit comes in the birthday pack. So just have a whole bunch of.
And in that one, you actually get to pick what die you want. So.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely have your characters made so you can farm birthday presents. I remember that in Guild Wars 1, but you did that for minis. But some discounted and leaving soon stuff. The Noble Count outfit for 490 gems, that's 30% off. The Lunatic Guard outfit for 490 gems, that's also 30% off. Remember, it is an outfit, so it is all or nothing. You can hide the helmet slot, but that's it. The Permanent Mad King Finisher for 500 gems, 3 days only. Or you could just go into Labyrinth for 5 minutes and probably have enough for the year. Witch's outfit for 3 days left at 700 gems. The Ferocious Cat Ears for 400 gems. The Mini Feline Familiar for 350 gems. Hovering Mad Mirror for 250 gems. The Mercenary Backpack for 400 gems. And the Sloth Backpack for 500 gems. And those are only in there for 6 more days. And I'm surprised the hovering Mad Mere didn't get the glider treatment type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the
carpet.
Yeah, the carpet. And that might have enticed me. I might have been like, ooh.
That would have been, yeah, okay, yeah.
I was just thinking that we have bunny ears, we have cat ears, we need puppy ears.
Well, they got to get all the cat stuff out first because they're still doing the, the cats in your home instance. Then they'll lead into dogs, hopefully. Please.
I still want a guild hall for a home instance because there's too much crap in the home instances from the launch of the game. They weren't meant to hold all of that.
Yeah, trust me, Chad. I'd rather collect dogs than cats, but I am a dog person.
I wish we could get dogs to chase around the cats in our home instance. That'd be fun.
That would be amazing. After a while, you literally have like a war in your home instance.
You're like, what happened?
Like you literally enter the home instance, you just see from one side a cluster of like cats, and on the other side, it's like, oh my god. But also the we lost.
You just lost mouth.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
By the way, while we get mouth back up, we are trying the Discord video sharing thing. Do let us know if you're fine with the quality and all that stuff, and if you noticed any issues. Like, here, that one's a gimme. But anyway, also in the gem store, leaving in 7 days, is the Daydreamer's Wing backpack set for 500 gems and the Dread Quiver backpack for 350 gems. Which I think I have the
one that was like the green butterfly wing type.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Goldish one.
Yeah, I think I had that one.
So would you recommend it?
I like it. It's nice.
I thought it looked really pretty. It was like very
especially if you got the the Sylvan outfit. Yeah.
And I don't think I have the Dread Quiver. I think I have Rox's Quiver, but I always like having a quiver back piece if I'm running like a ranger or something that's using a bow, or any profession that's using a bow. But
Rox Quiver, best quiver.
Yep.
I just have the regular Ascended back piece quiver. That's fine.
I need to send you the Rox Quiver then.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Rox Quiver is way better.
If you want to spend the gems to send me a gift, I'm totally cool with that.
To save you from your own mistakes.
I like chat saying now cat dog. Is that what happens when we throw it in the Mystic Forge?
No.
I think
amazing.
I think it's more my comment about preferring my cats to act like dogs.
Oh,
that show is insane.
That was a show.
Great show.
But do you guys recommend anything from the gem store that's soon leaving or at a discount?
The mercenary backpack is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that's like the satchel with like the pickaxe and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good, generic good one.
I'd suggest the ferocious cat ears in case you get tired of those bunny ears and you want to switch the human female meta to like slightly undertoned. There you go.
Hey, my Norn Ranger cat, and they're awesome.
There you go.
There you go. Get ahead of the game. Get the ferocious cat ears. But other than that, our next thing up is our community corner. So this week, it's kind of a update, I guess. We talked about a couple weeks ago, or I think it was right before PoF launched. A Reddit user by the name Mac7625 showed off the Lego mounts, and here's the previous one of all four. The Raptor, Springer, Jackal, and Skimmer, and in Lego form, and definitely awesome looking. But they actually made a new one for the kind of hidden mount, I guess you could say, and that was the Griffon one, which you can see here. Which I also in the Reddit post, they uploaded the parts list and the file for the model itself, so you could theoretically build it yourself if you so desired. Which
I'm always really impressed by the kind of stuff that people come up with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Lego stuff. I really am.
Amazing.
Which we'll throw that in chat, and always, if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll have that in the description, so you can. But yeah,
Stay out
definitely
of
is
the burrs.
awesome. Hmm?
Oh, sorry, my dog walked over and he has burrs all in his ear, and I was like, dude.
I mean, he has choyas all in his ear.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that to be next, Alpine choya, but they look like burrs from thistle bushes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you have Lego sitting around, or you know, yeah, aren't there those websites where you can buy select ones? I think like certain types or.
Oh yeah,
So-
you can buy packs of stuff from Lego. You can just pick the parts you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there you go. You could possibly create your own assortment of mounts, which I definitely I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But wow, it just feels so wrong that we hit only like an hour. And
But if we're out of stuff, I wanted to talk about the thing I linked in Discord real quick.
Sure, I'll try to get the media over there for it.
Yeah, it was short notice, but I just remembered. I stumbled upon this on Discord on Reddit. Apparently, the devs, so in the game records, they were able to go in and see who the first person who unlocked the Griffon mount was. And they sent that person a little note saying, hey, according to our records, you were the first person who unlocked it. And then they also sent them some really nice artwork signed by a bunch of the devs. So it was
cool.
awesome.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm gonna grab the Reddit link and put it in chat while you're
It's a good
pulling it
idea.
up, Deo, for the copy.
Here, I'll put it over top of the vinyl thing. I'll mesmerize everybody with the vinyl while.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm pretty sure there's like other cool little things that people haven't found yet. But
Oh, yeah.
like in Path of Fire in general, but
No, guys, Path of Fire, like people are done with Path of Fire. They've already done all the content. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things probably in there because I found so many like just small things that I think there's probably a lot of just hidden stuff that people haven't found. I think the devs have said that there's still a lot of stuff that they haven't seen anybody find yet.
The
So
maps are so big, though.
Mhm.
Like, how can you say that you're just done?
Yep.
I would have never found that Corsair stuff if I didn't see a guide for getting all the Ranger pets.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain there's a cat guide because there's so many in the Moon Oasis that I found. It was like there has to be a guide to get these cats. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, like Chat saying, yeah, it was signed by everybody. It's awesome. Like
yeah, that's
like
pretty
part of
cool.
me kind of leaning back to like the Lego thing. I was like, that'd be great if like they sent not the same thing like that, but like something like that in appreciation for them building the
Yeah,
Lego
I was
things. But
gonna say I think it was signed by everybody who expansion team, but not like everybody at ArenaNet because that's like 100 people.
That'd be a lot of signatures.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is absolutely beautiful looking. I mean, with a little bit of time, we could probably talk about this a little bit, then maybe lead it into the after show, because I've seen people talk about this, and I think we've talked about in the past of the like what Chat's saying. It's all about the rewards, and that's why so many people have gone back to Heart of Thorns, and it's.
Oh man, the number of people that I've seen be like, Heart of Thorns was the best expansion. I'm like, where were you 2 years ago?
It's people watching things, I guess, a bit with rose tint glasses,
Yeah.
but
Well, also, they did go back and fix a lot of stuff post Heart of Thorns
Exactly.
Launch, and I think people tend to forget that. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you remember a month, because we're basically a little bit over a month from PoF launch. If you remember a month out of hot, I wish we could go back to our podcast where we're like, you know, we were trying to convince people, like, they gave us everything on that bullet point list of what they were putting into the game, even though no one likes it. Like, like it was like
what they said.
Well, that and what the rewards didn't get tuned up until April the following year with the first big feature pack.
Well, that's what it was. With that, they tuned up the. They fixed a lot of the map issues that people had. They overhauled a lot of the adventures. They hit a lot of things in that patch. So.
Verdant Brink was super populated that day during that revamp, just because they gave out so many airship parts.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. Oh yeah,
and crowbars.
You couldn't get rid of them fast enough.
Like, oh my god,
I still can't.
No.
I think, who was I running with? It might have been I was running with Rob, like Robin the one time, like maybe once they changed or something, and you were like, I'm hitting every single one of these, and then you're like, I'm trying to lose them all, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm getting close, and then all of a sudden you're like, I just got credit for an event. I wasn't even near an event. Why am I get? And just got more. You're like,
I was like, I literally cannot fast enough to get rid of any of them before I get more. I was gaining them. It was really frustrating. I was like, come on. It's not necessary. But I have also seen people complain that there are not map-specific currencies in PoF, and I was like, that was one of the major complaints about Heart of Thorns, is that they did that. Like
that, and with the Heart of Thorns, with the story maps as they went through, they basically told us that we weren't going to have map currencies because Unbound Magic was the map currency for all of the story maps.
Yeah.
So.
Which makes sense, and I'm fine with that, but yeah, I don't know. Hurts my head.
I think it goes always back to like what I think we're all trying to say is, looking back at it, rose tinted glasses, where everybody will say, Prophecies was the best or this one was the best. It's like, no, it wasn't at the time. Like,
yeah,
Nightfall's still the best.
I liked Guild Wars Beyond. That was the only part I liked. Not really.
Okay, yeah, War and Credit was pretty good.
Oh, I liked it all, but yeah, it's so.
It's
just so bad sometimes. That
he was looking pathetic with all his bursts. I had.
Oh, bounties versus world bosses. World bosses.
Do we want to wrap up and then move this into after show? This is, or do we want to keep going?
I just feel like we can't. Okay, yeah. We'll for once have a shorter show. I guess that's
It's okay, Deo. It's okay. I promise.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Everybody promise not to hate me, at least, especially on YouTube, since you won't be seeing the after show. That's why you need to tune in live.
Everybody post on YouTube. What is this crap? Short show.
Rabble.
That's gonna be the one, and it's gonna get like top com. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Well, that is it for this week. Do stick around if you're here live. We'll be talking more about it during after show. And Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanusMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Zero to Hero PvP night. It's off season right now, so it's been random stuff with new classes. Did Guardians, I did Firebrand this past week, did Deadeye the previous week. Might end up in Fractals this week, I don't know, but hope to see y'all there.
Awesome. And Age, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age Night Road. I think I'm going to be playing A Hat in Time tomorrow. That's a game I kickstarted a couple years ago, so it finally came out this month. So and I haven't tried it yet, so I'm very excited for that. I also have South Park. I want to play that, but I have to find a good time because that's going to be an 18+ stream. And then,
why?
Oh, there are many reasons. And I'll eventually pick up Assassin's Creed Origins and play that. But other than that, it's usual Guild Wars 2 Overwatch stuff. So, yeah.
And don't remember, 10 followers. He does first-person
And-
POV clock tower.
If I get 10 new followers, I'll do the clock tower first person mode for half an
But
hour.
it has to be
I'm
by the end
so
of that
excited.
the holiday, because he won't be able to do clock tower then. So make that happen. For a maximum of 30 minutes. We're not letting him suffer too much.
Yeah.
And Robin, where can they find you?
On Twitch and Twitter at Arlie82. I write over at MMORPG, and I also hang out on MMO Champion.
Awesome. And you can find me at simply_Dale on Twitch and Twitter. And if you are popping at the very end, do make sure to stick around for after show. We are going to be continuing conversation there. And if you are missing it, we do highlight this on Twitch, but this does go up on YouTube. Just search Talking Skritt. It's usually the first one that pops up. And that goes up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure, see if you can try to make it out to the live show, twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit, at every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And I would like to thank this week for our hosts, Serene Virus, Jaibu Cole, it's hopping around, SOTD Podcast, Malibu Reaper, Moonkiller NV, That Chevron, Sundorai, and I think I said 7-Bit Brian, but just in case, I think I just got everybody. Twitch, lock those host things so I don't have to, it doesn't keep hopping around. But anyways, as always, we will see you in the game. Good night, everybody.